Hello everyone, this is Tin Boy and time for another Legend Fes Breakdown. This time, this is the first episode that I will be recording for the Japanese version of Atelier Resleriana. You can check on the global version stream if you want to check the context of why I started recording the Japanese version. Let's cover the Tomoto Ayumu Birai. Now, I already covered the Memoria part, but in case if anyone didn't get the point in the Japanese version stream, I will cover that as well. So, Firis, Tweeting Ribbon. She has more power on 1050 magic points. Her defense is at 769, 234, which is an average for air attacker. Now, Ribbon Shoot is Firis skill 1. 111 damage, 8% break, 100 ticks of weight, single target. After attacking, she will boost her skill damage by 30% for 2 turns. Skill 2, Trick Blasta. Targets single enemy, 338% damage, 38% break, 200 ticks of weight. After attacking, she will grant magical attack boost by 30% up to 60%, as well as granting this one, the Suvadi Ribbon. What this does is she will increase targets will be getting increased magical attack damage up by 20% or up to 40%, which it'll last until the end of the battle. Basically, increase bar attack output from Firis and everyone else's after she uses her skill 2. But if Firis is the one attacking the enemies, then this enemy will have this effect, the ribbon. Firis will basically have an additional boost of likely going to be 60% more attack power with an additional 40% up to 40% magical damage towards enemies. So yeah, you can calculate that if you have higher magical attack stats. Now, unfortunately, it is predicted there will be no trial battles in the global version after March 28th. So if you have you want me to do a Legend Fes breakdown on Sia, unfortunately, it's been confirmed there will be no trial battles moving forward, starting with Sia from Atelier Mari. So, burst skill this time is Twist Ribbon Decoration. Single target, 525% damage, 93% break, 200 ticks of weight. This attack only will increase her critical damage to 100%, which is guaranteed. And after attacking, Firis will grant the 2 buffs. She will grant skill damage up by 50% with an addition up to 100% after her second burst. Firis will also grant 50% magical attack on herself for 1 turn. So you can follow up either skill 1 or skill 2 if you want to take advantage of this Twist Ribbon Decoration. Unfortunately, I won't be showing the burst skill, which is a bummer. They KT removed trial battles. So this passive allows her to this will allow her to increase skill damage by 10 to 100%, depending on the positive effects, depending on the effects that the enemy already has. So if you have more buffs on the enemy, the higher the skill damage Firis will have. Do note that this will be counted at the start of the battle. However, buffs that have been applied at the start of the battle will not be counted towards this one, which is basically stack as many buffs as possible, whether it be, I think it's likely going to be debuff on enemies, so Firis will be more capable if enemies have more negative debuffs on them. So it can only count up to 20 total. I think it's only for single enemy, but I think Firis will stack her skill damage depending on how many enemies will have several buffs stacked up. So you'll need to hold tap the enemy info to check how many buffs each enemy will have, and then Firis will have calculated skill damage up for 10 to 100% if you're lucky that enough. So do note it will not count it will not count effects that have been applied at the start of the battle. Itazura Shitauyo. Before she uses the skill, enemy attacks will be given this ribbon effect. When enemies will get this buff, that attack skill damage will be buffed by 30%. So enemies that have been inflicted with this, the Mari Ribbon, Firis, or any attacker, any other character will have increased skill damage attack up by 30%. So this one's useful if you want to keep your allies having more additional damage overhaul towards enemies. The leader skill this time is Ribo no Kaze ni Nabi Kasete. Air characters will have this effect. If attacking enemies and then their shields are broken, air characters will get a skill damage up of 50%. So this applies to allies using air elements. So make sure if enemy shields are broken, then they'll be granted with skill damage up by 50%. Now she is part of the Koe o Kiku Mono Tachi, Whisperers, and Boken Adventurers. The colors this time are red to yellow, which is Attack Blessing, Wind Curse, which decreases air resistance by 1 to 10% for one attack, and Air Skill Power Boost. Air skill effects will be up by 4 to 35%. Now this is quite exclusive to this one element. Would have been better. I think this one's significantly better, but it is more restrictive than getting the skill power boost. So this is a rarity for this trait to be appearing on your synthesizing journey. So make sure to be careful if you're synthesizing weapons for air characters. This one's a given. If you have double air skill power boost, you'll get up to 70% skill power stack on your character's skill effects. So just 70%, not nearly 100%, just 70. So yeah, this is significantly better than skill power boost. Again, just element wise. So do take note of that. Now, for those who have already read the Memoria, Watashi mo, me too. Illustrator this time is Saipa Ko-san. Magical attack up by 31.25%. This one will be given to attackers weak to its respective element. So when using this Memoria to an attacker and enemies are weak against that attacker, grant skill damage up by up to 48% for 2 turns. So yeah, I think this one's a bit overpowered. Yeah, just a bit overpowered because I'm just giving an understatement. If you were to get this Memoria, you can use it on attackers, and this is useful if you're trying to match that against opponents weak to that element. So powerful Memoria. It would be better if you have increased rank 5, that is. So yeah, don't expect that Memoria at rank 1 to be this strong, so make sure to invest on that. This one, Ilmeria's turn. Now, I did not get Ilmeria yet. She is an air supporter this time. So, Diligent Genius Ilmeria. There's also a new Memoria for Ilmeria, and then for alongside Firis. So, Diligent Genius Ilmeria. This is her first variant as she debuted for this game. 909 magical attack with 857 magical defense. This one, Wind Shoot, level 5 by the way. This is single target, 71% damage, 7% break, 106 of weight. After attacking, she will increase her speed by 50% for 1 turn, and grant the user with the highest magical attack right before she uses her skill damage up skill damage up by 25% for 1 turn. So if you have Firis or any air attacker with the highest magical stack, that will be given after Ilmeria uses her skill 1. That's pretty cool actually, especially if you're using her on the manual team. Do not the Konoskiru Ryu Maini, meaning before she uses that skill, grant the skill damage up to your ally. So this one, this works after Ilmeria uses her skill 1. Ribbon Blaster. Wait, Ribbon Blaster? Or it's the same skill as Firis, but this one's different. This is for supporters. Now this targets all allies, recovers 104% with 200 ticks of weight. She has a lot of these stats. Look at this. After she heals, she will grant the following effects. Increase HP cap by 10% with up to 30% limit. Increase magical attack by 10% with a cap of 30%. Decrease magical damage received by 7% up to negative 21%. And if this one is special for air attackers, all members that are air attackers receive air damage up by 25% for 2 turns, air resistance up by 15% for 2 attacks, and last but not least, grant additional damage received debuff by 7% with a cap of up to 21%. Now I think it can be stackable for air attackers, but for other characters you'll be receiving these effects at the above, while for air attackers you'll be receiving these effects below. I think air attackers will take advantage of this one, and Memoria is pretty good if you have boss attackers such as Eden from the Academy, or original Firis, or the Ribbon Firis, the newest variant. So if you have an air attacker beneficial to this one, that'll be useful. Even group attackers will be able to take advantage on Ilmeria's skill too. Now for burst skill, Alchemic Gale. This targets all enemies by increasing damage by 315%, break damage of 37%, 200 ticks of weight, targets all by the way, and there's a very high chance that all enemies will be getting a stun for 1 turn, that is. This effect only works after she attacks. Now she also grants damage received to enemies for 2 attacks, and for everyone on the team who is an air attacker, all members with air attacker combination at the start of the turn will regenerate HP by 10% for 3 turns. So regen, by the way. Break damage up by 10% for 2 turns, and critical damage up by 50% for 2 turns. So this is powerful. I gotta say, it's very powerful. Break damage and critical damage. This is useful if you have an air. If you want to increase your attacker that focuses on breaking damage, breaking shields, especially if you have Stirk. Most attackers usually focus on attack power over break damage, but this one will slightly help them at all. So yeah, other than Stirk, everyone else who is an air attacker will be able to take on this one. Oh yeah. Actually, it's a mistake. Stirk is actually an air breaker. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry to let everyone hopes up. But yeah, long story short, she has a chance to stun enemies. All enemies, by the way, increase magical damage received, and grant these support heal, break damage up, and critical damage. Useful if you have an air attacker that focuses on critical damage. After she uses her skill, item gauge will be recovered by 10%. This is one of her abilities. And Tensai no Oi Kazeyo. Air attackers. Actually, this is a skill damage and break damage up by 40% for members who will be grant all air characters skill damage and break damage up by 40%. That applies to yourself, by the way. Also to her other air characters? Yeah. So, next one, air character. This leader skill is for air attackers this time. Increase defense stats by 10%, and if an enemy gets inflicted with stun status effect, grant air character skill damage up by 50%. Holy moly! Is this girl gonna stack up powers or what? Yeah, honestly, I'm already running out of breath, but here, yeah. So, Ilmeria, jack of all trades, some of her buffs will be useful for air attackers. Although this is very restrictive if you're using her outside air elements, so it's best if you have a team of at least one air attacker to take advantage of her skill set. So she is part of Adventurers, obviously, Rims, and Majime series. So yeah, even Resna is serious on this one. Memoria has a gift color of purple to red. This one increases defenses by 1 to 5%. This one increases critical rate up by 1 to 8% for one turn, and this one is this one would have been Mighty Chaser, but I'd be wrong. So enemies that have their shields broken will get damage received up by 3 to 30%. This is useful if you have a character that will be useful if enemies' shields are broken, aka stun. So yeah, Ilmeria, really good supporter. Yes, it's actually like a S to double S. In the case, it would have been useful if you don't have Dark Warrior Valeria yet, which is back at chapter 21. But if you're a fan of Atelier Firis in the Mysterious series, well, I guess this Firis is useful if you want to pair up with at least one air attacker. Especially, they'll need that for heal, air resistance, and magical damage received or critical damage. She runs with air attackers anyway. Now, this one, Tamaniwa Konahimo, illustrated by Yuken-san. This is magical. The strongest stat this time on this Memoria is 33.75 on magical defense. When equipping this Memoria for air characters, particularly, increased effects received up by 60%, by up to 60%. So Memoria will be able to take advantage of this one, especially she has a lot of buffs and debuffs that she can give to air attackers and enemies, her the debuffs that is. Now, yeah, I think I'll go for this over the Memoria. So, long story short, I recommend getting Memoria if you don't have any air supporter yet, or you just started the game and you don't know where to start. I'd say go for Ilmeria if you have an air attacker, whether it be group or single attack to take advantage of her buffs. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. This is the first episode of the Legend Fes Breakdown in the Japanese version. This will be moving forward until the global version ends. So that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the video. Discord server X, Twitter, Blue Sky accounts. Link in the video description below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time for Chapter 19 Legend Fes Breakdown. Goodbye. See you soon. Boom.